So in this video, guys, I'll be taking my Nikon DX 1.8G lens, the notorious, really good for that fast lens, that bokeh-licious portraits, and I'll be attaching it to my one and only Nikon Z50. And you're like, how am I gonna do that? Well, I'll be using my Nikon FTZ mount, which lets me put on any sort of F mount to my Z mount body, which will be my Nikon Z50. And if you haven't seen my other video where I literally walked down with a gimbal and my Nikon Z50 in the low light, there's a lot of hunting. I put the ISO on auto. There's a lot of grain. Check that video out to see the real performance of the Nikon Z50 with the gimbal. But in this video, I'm going to do something a little bit more different. Yes, it's going to be challenging because I'll be using it in the dark again, so I can see the autofocus capabilities of this guy and what it can actually do with the Nikon Z50 with the FTZ mount. And I'll be keeping not the ISO not on auto. I'll be keeping it at, let's say, a steady ISO, whether that's 800, 1200, we'll see once it gets dark. And I'm going to test out the autofocus on that, see how it does, as well as just overall combination of just handheld. But for the most part, since the Nikon Z50 does not have IBIS or in-body image stabilization, I'll be using a gimbal to see how that looks overall. And let me know what you guys think of the video. I'll be shooting in 4K, and we'll see how the Z50 does. This is me filming at 1250 ISO, 1/50, 4K. Right now I am at 1600 ISO. Go. Now, because we're underground, now I can see you. Now it's good. Wow, this place is good for like a photo shoot, man. This is like a movie. What I noticed right away is a lot of hunting, a lot of issues because it is at night time. So of course I already know with the FTZ on top of that with the Z50 being a crop body, is that it does low light even worse. But as you can see right now, fairly well lit, and I can track pretty damn easily. Only have issues during the night where even if I bump up the ISO, has a hard time. The yellow square is around the face, but is not properly focused on the face. This one I am using electronic VR. And that, guys, was my little mini shoot of using the Nikon Z50 with my 35 1.8G lens with the FTZ mount. And because with the FTZ, you're not going to get perfect autofocus when it comes to using another adapter, because this is telling the Nikon it's another information that has to pass through from the lens to the adapter to the body. In comparison, if you were just to buy a Nikon SZ line, so a 35 1.8S lens, that's going to get much better autofocus in comparison to this. But let you guys let me know in the comments how that lens actually does. Did you actually see it struggle? Was the hunting really bad? Is it usable in low light performances? Because as the Nikon Z50, the more I use it, one of the things I'll make a future review on this is that in a perfect daylight where you have a lot of lighting, everything is fine, where you can control everything. The autofocus does fine, there's no hunting, but the minute that it loses a bit of light and the ISO cranks up to, let's say, 3000 plus or 2500 plus ISO, it starts struggling and hunting. And if you have things like glasses, there isn't eye detection in video mode. There is in photo, but not so in video mode. So I want to push the Nikon Z50 with this video to the max to see its highest capabilities and not see that commercial stuff where they're trying to sell you the Nikon Z50. You're only going to see real, raw, honest opinions of the Nikon Z50. And that was my video with it. My name is Peter. Make sure you grab all my resources links in the description below if you want free goodies from me to help you on your content creation journey. And you're watching Broke Visionary Creative, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.